Early in the morning and this room is a mess. I can't find no matching socks today. No, it isn't easy.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 46 of Nickel O's World Podcast. Welcome, welcome. I know, 46. Let me take these off because I'm like getting a massive glare from the screen, so let me take these off. How are you guys? I know I haven't recorded in almost 3 weeks, and I'm sorry, but once I explain, you will understand why. But before we get started into all that, let me use my phone. Today is, I know it's Friday, it's the 28th of November, and it is about 2:30 in the afternoon. Grab your favorite beverage of choice, whether it be a hot cup of coffee, a cup of tea, or a soda or water or whatever your choice of beverage is. Let's get started. Today I am drinking, it's my herbal Christmassy tea I bought. It's the apple maple cider, I think it's called. I'm not sure. The thing for it's over that way, and I don't want to stop to stick it up and get it. But I will show it again on the next podcast because it is very good. I highly recommend it. It is caffeine free because it's an herbal tea. I still didn't pick up any new Christmas teas. I want to. All right, let's get started. If you are new and you are checking out my podcast for the first time, thank you so much, and I hope you come back again. I will definitely be recording next week, and if you're a returning viewer, thank you as always for coming back another week. And if you are a returning viewer, you will see that I am in a different location. It is for work. You will see I will have a couple little co-hosts popping up from time to time. So you will see them. I did record last week and the week before, but it wasn't a very good quality. I recorded during the day last week, and I love my Nana to no end, but you could hear her television playing in the background. You could hear the game show channel, and it didn't sound right. And the week before, I recorded at night, and because the house I live in, the house that we live in is over 100 years old. It was built in 1890, and the lighting wasn't good. And I just couldn't get good lighting. And also, the other reason the past 2 weeks was I was working my hardest to finish a commission project. So that's the main reason is I was working on the commission project. And I also, and like I said, the lighting, and I didn't think you guys wanted to hear the game show in the background, and then you could hear my gram in the background as well. And yeah, if you understand Pennsylvania German or Pennsylvania Dutch, you would have understood what you said, and you would have been like, that little 89-year-old woman said what? And she was talking to my dog, so, and not that she doesn't like my dog, but she was calling the dog something in Pennsylvania German that wasn't so nice because evidently during the day, when I wasn't around, he was bad. So that being said, let's get into it. Administrati. Happy birthday to anybody who has had or will have a birthday in November. If you celebrated your birthday and Thanksgiving yesterday, like, happy birthday. How does your birthday work? Like, how does it go? Is it like a normal Thanksgiving? Is it special? Let me know. Yeah, we also have a cow going on, and I'm going to have to put my glasses on to read everything to you. So let me get that up. All right, and you guys are putting in some wonderful things for the holiday cow. It's a gift holiday cow. I should say that's the right name of it. I hope everyone's excited for this cow as I am. That's been going on. It started on October the 19th and it ends January the 8th, 2015. I have it going that long to cover, and I hope it covers anybody that celebrates a holiday this season. I let it extend it to cover that, and if you don't, that's fine. It gives you enough time to get your projects in. It's simple. The rules are simple. It has to be knit or crocheted. It either has to be a gift you're going to give to somebody, is given to you or to charity. In the holiday spirit, it can be so-called selfish knitting. People call it selfish knitting, but I don't. It could be that somebody gifted you a wonderful pattern and you want to make it up, or you would gift it yarn and you want to use it, or you just don't feel, you're just one of those people that does not do the holiday knitting and crocheting because maybe there's people in your life that you feel aren't deemed worthy of it. So you can put that in. And sometimes we like to make ourselves our own Christmas present. All right. As I said, I'm also letting it be if somebody knit or crocheted you an item, you can put that in. I'm counting that as well. Because, it is the holiday season, so I am allowing that to be put in. Let's see here. You can also include stuff for the holiday season that you're making for your home, that you're making for work, your community, etc., so on and so forth. You can include accessories. You can include toys. If you're not sure if it fits in with our along, just ask me. You can dip into as many other groups as you want, as long as it's okay with the rules and guidelines. As far as works in progress, 1 photo per week of all your works in progress. Say that you're working on 5 works in progress. Well, this week you can take a picture of all 5 of them and put them in. I don't care if you do it at one time or you do it 5 days out of the week, that's fine. Or say that you have 5 works in progress and you finished 1 of them. Well, you can also include the finished object in with those photos. So yeah, and as I said, and the reason I say toys count as gifts because, well, people like to gift them. And I'm sorry, I feel like I'm sliding. And I said on my previous podcast that there is going to be a prize. There is. I have it with me. I have like my Santa bag today with me with my stuff. So let me dig in my bag and get that out. I told you guys I got a Santa bag, except it's an I Love America bag. It is, oh, did I shut you guys off? Nope, I'm still recording. I thought I bumped it. All right, let me get the prize out here. I'm so not organized. But I do have a prize. And I'm sorry if you have earbuds in and you hear crinkle, crinkle, crinkle. All right, this prize is out of my own personal yarn stash. I decided I would dive into my stash and being it's the holiday season and give you guys a prize. Yeah, it is. Now, it comes with a pattern. This is called Wool in the Woods, and it comes with a pattern in a slash vest. You do not have to use this pattern. This is vintage yarn. It is deep in my stash. I do obviously come from a pet-friendly home, so it has been since I got it, was kept in this bag. As I said, you do not have to use the pattern that comes with it. You can do whatever you want with this yarn. And let me open it up here. Now there is one that is not going to be twisted pretty. It's going to be in there, and I didn't do it, but it's the way that it came. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 4 skeins of this, and I love the way it smells. Oh, it smells so good. It is called Wool in the Woods. 97% wool, 3% nylon, 200 yards per skein, and there's 4 of these, so 4 times 200 is 800 skeins of yarn. And the colorway is called Thief in the Night. I really love the colorway. You guys can really see, I have great light here. This is the true color. This is what it looks like, and I'll show you the other side. I've never used this yarn before, but I thought this would make a wonderful prize for one of you all. If we get quite a bit of entries into the along, what I will do is I'll dive again into my stash for another prize. So any and all prizes that are coming from my personal stash. So yeah, I am going to try within this upcoming year to buy some yarn and start a stash prize yarn for our podcast. That way I can give out prizes to you guys, because I have been blessed to win many prizes throughout the year in podcasts. Listen to fellow podcasters. I have been very blessed, and I want to give it back to you guys within the upcoming new year. So I am, for this one, there may be another, if we keep getting more entries, another prize coming out of my stash. And next year, I am definitely, as I go out shopping, I am going to buy yarn, or even order yarn online and put it in a prize bin for you guys. So yeah. Yeah. If you want to donate, feel free. You don't have to. I'm doing all this on my own, so yeah, I just thought it would be something that would be fun. Kind of give back to you guys, because you're wonderful. Let's see. And if you're ever interested in joining in, like wanting to do an along with me, let me know. Let's see here. I'm trying to read without my glasses. I can't see too far away. We did have in our idea countdown. I'm sorry if your earbuds didn't hear the dog barking. They probably hear a deer. In our cow idea thread, we have a wonderful we had somebody a few weeks ago put in a wonderful idea, and I will get it up for you guys. I'm sorry if you have your earbud in. You're probably going to hear the dogs barking off and on. All right, it was posted on November the 9th, and a lovely viewer suggested in the new year to do a blanket along, because I mentioned I wanted to do 2 log cabins, and she thought maybe this would help with motivation, and it can be a year-long one, and I thought that was a wonderful, great idea. In fact, you guys, I have really wanted to start the blanket along already, but I want to get you guys' idea first. Should I wait until after the new year, after our current cow ends, to start the blanket one? Because the blanket one will be one that will go on for an entire year, give you a chance to get all your blankets in there, whether you make baby blankets or Lapgans or Afghans or whatever you want to make. I think it would be fun to have a year-long cow for something like that, because I know blankets take time, and I wouldn't per se work on my log cabin every day. It would be just when I want to. But I think a year-long would be awesome. It would be great motivation for all of us. You could track your progress, and it won't be, oh, I gotta hurry and get this done within 3 months. Oh, no sweat. I have a year, honey. you guys would have a complete year, and I think we continuously run the blanket along for a year, along with any other cow that we do. All right, finished objects. I do have a finished object, but I do not have it with me because it got gifted to its recipient, but I don't have the, yes, I do have the pattern with me, I think. I'm disorganized. I feel like, ma'am, I love this mayhem commercial. All right, you guys, the pattern that I made up for this person is called TLC Hooded Scarf, and it's by Relena, RHELENA. And you can find it on Rav. It's a free pattern, or you can go to crochetandcrafts.com. This pattern, because it is a free pattern, I will say I didn't really enjoy the crochet. The person asked me to do it, and I thought it was going to be a challenge for me to, like, my crochet skills, because I want to get better at them. It was, wait, hang on, let me see what they're barking at. Right, sorry about that. It wasn't deer they're barking at. They are barking at people shoveling out. In case you have not seen the weather lately, Wednesday here on the East Coast, we had a snowstorm. The area of Pennsylvania that I live in, which is northeastern, and you will hear barking. I'm sorry, she's looking out the window, and she's barking at the people shoveling the snow. Honey, it's okay. So I'm sorry for everybody, and this is going to be a very barking episode. Yeah, we've had snow where I live in Pennsylvania. If you are familiar with Pennsylvania, I am 2 hours or so from Philly, 30 minutes, 25 to 30 minutes from Allentown, Bethlehem area. Josh, Auricula82, you probably might know where I'm talking about. I live in I live in a tourist town. Everybody loves to come to this town, so yeah, you may know where I'm talking about. So yeah. So as I said, I was talking about the hooded scarf. I didn't really enjoy it. I didn't feel it, but I did it. I would highly modify it if I made it again. It's basically, I'm not giving anything away because it's free. You crochet in the front loops and you do a crochet rib. It is worked in pieces that the hood is separate from the scarf. Excuse me, and it also has pockets. Here is what it looks like. Now, the person that wanted this wanted it made in all black. Yeah. I had to sit out in the dining room with all the lights on to see it work where I had good light. But here's what it looks like. And there's the model modeling it. It is cute. I did modify it. She didn't want the hood so pointy, so I had to modify that when I sewed it in, but that's okay. But yeah, it was interesting. It took me, I started that on, when did I start it, Nicole? When did you start it? I want to say November, I bet I can't talk. November 11th, but let me make sure. If you follow me on Rav, you will see it in my project page. I started it on November 11th and finished it on November 23rd. So I'd say it took me almost a week, 2 weeks to make it. As I said, they hear the people outside cleaning off the snow. It's not going to be a very good picture, but that's kind of what it looks like. I had it folded. Here's an angled picture. You cannot see the pockets because the pockets blend in with the scarf. But yeah, that took up most of my time. I wanted to get it done since it was a commission project. I may or may not make one again. If I do, as I said, I'd modify it. I had to fight the urge to modify it because the person wanted it done exactly like the pattern. And I said over and over again, are you sure you wouldn't like the pattern? Are you sure you don't want me to change? No, that was me kind of being selfish. Are you sure you don't want me to change it? But yeah, I do have works in progress. So let's get started. As you guys know, I was gifted back in August for my birthday by a wonderful friend and viewer of the podcast, the Martina Bame hitchhiker pattern. And I have been working on that. It is a very enjoyable knit. Let me show you guys. I have a black and white printout of what it looks like, but I'll show you a colored picture of it. It's a very, very enjoyable knit. It can be potato chippy, but that's okay. I like that because I can just sit there because I now have the pattern memorized that I can just go brrr. I just have to make sure I count my rows. It is a paid for pattern, but because it was gifted to me, I will not tell you how much that it costs because I do not feel it is right to say how much a gift costs the person to give me. You want to know? You can look the pattern up on Rav. If I bought the pattern, I would tell you how much it cost. But here is a version of it that is finished. This is not mine. It is on the project page for the hitchhiker, but that's what it looks like. I'm almost actually done with it. I have 39 teeth done. And it calls for 41, and I am doing one extra to make it even because I am OCD like that. Let me scoot back, you guys. I sit forward so that if I'm reading something, I can see it. It's kind of bunched up, but I will show you guys. As I said, I am highly enjoying working on it. I am kind of sad that I am getting towards the end of the pattern, but that's okay. That means I can knit another one. Here is what it looks like so far. If you've done other Martina Bame patterns, you know what her pattern scheme is like. So here is what it looks like so far. So here we go. Here's the end of it. And you guys are seeing the colors of this yarn really great. I have really great lighting today here. And then, of course, where I am on the needles. And if you're wondering what this is called, it is, as I'm throwing things around, you guys, hang on. It is Red Heart, Hurt and Full with Aloe in the Green Envy colorway. And Marlisha from Penhook and Needles, her and I have talked about this. We don't think that this does not remind us of Green Envy at all. I think they got the colorway wrong for this. They should have named it something else. I've been calling it English Garden, even though I've never seen what an English garden looks like in my life, but I hope to someday. I wouldn't mind having one. But yeah, this does not remind me of Green Envy at all. To me, the colorway Green Envy would have multiple colors of green in it with maybe pops of white or pops of black or maybe even pops of blue. But this is not a green envy to me. I'm sorry. But I didn't get paid to name the colorway, and the person that got paid said they wanted this to be called Green Envy, and that's what they call it, Green Envy. Although I'm secretly calling it English Garden, because this reminds me of a garden color, so I'm calling it English Garden, even though it's really called Green Envy. Green Envy. Green Envy, not Ivy. Envy. Green Envy. I can't say the colorway name right. Here is it's Green Envy, not Ivy. Green Envy. In case you do like it, I do think it is a pretty colorway. So that's the name of the colorway, and it is by Red Heart. You can find this colorway in your big box stores, or you can order it online from redheart.com or any other place that carries Red Heart. Green Envy? No. As I said, to me, Green Envy would be a multiple colors of the green spectrum. This is more like English Garden. And if you guys are wondering, I am on my third skein of yarn. It will not take all of this skein. I will let you know that. And if you're wondering how much these skeins are, because it is a sock yarn, it is... Okay, I'm looking here. Hang on. It's 70% superwash wool, 30% nylon, in case you're wondering. Made in Romania. It is 1.76 ounces, 50 grams, 213 yards, or 195 meters. Now, the picture on the ball band shows a pair of socks, and it says to make the socks, it calls for 2 skeins. So, that's why I'm on my third skein. So, I am not going to be using the entire skein. I have one more skein left. I do plan to buy this colorway again, because I definitely wouldn't mind having a pair of socks in this color. And in case you're wondering, it is being kept in, if you're wondering, yes, I guess you call it a makeup bag. I was at the Dollar Tree over the weekend, and I happened to see this bag, and of course, makeup didn't pop into my mind. No. Yarn popped, stash bag, project bag popped into my mind. Isn't this cute? I think it's cute. It reminds me of vintage retro. I got this at my local Dollar Tree for, of course, $1. I have 2 more bags at home I bought. I really like it because it holds the pattern and the skein, and it's kind of like bigger on the inside. Like, my Nana was like, you're not going to fit that in there, but I do. So yeah, I really wanted to buy a actual project bag. I have some that I made, and I did buy a pattern to make my own project bags. I really want, maybe, I don't know, my Nana asked me what I wanted for Christmas, and I said I didn't know. Maybe I'll tell her I'll pick out the project bag that I want online, and tell her, like, look, here's the project bags I like. You know, if you can get me one, you can get me none, you know. You want to know what I want for Christmas? This is what I want for Christmas. I am stuck on my button. There we go. But yeah, so being that I have to be good right now, that I cannot buy project bags because my car is in the shop. I know I'm kind of jumping all over this stuff, talking about life stuff and everything else, but it will explain why I have to limit my yarn buying. Right now I have to go on a yarn diet and a project bag diet because my car is in the shop. Took it in for inspection, and a couple of days before I took it in for inspection, I kept hearing a knocking noise. And it sounded like it was coming from the driver's side on the back. And I knew I had an appointment for an inspection. So I was like, okay, couple days before my inspection. I heard it once, didn't think anything of it. The next day I didn't hear it. Day after I heard it. And when I didn't think anything of it, I said, oh, maybe, junk on the road, whatever, because where I go to work, they're making an exit for the turnpike to connect onto the turnpike, so I thought maybe I had debris. Take it in for an inspection, dropped it off, because my mechanic is literally right down the street from where I live. I can walk to and from his garage, so that's wonderful. Dropped the car off in the morning, said, don't got any place to go, call me when it's done. So, of course, call me when it's done didn't work, because my grandma's like, take my car and take me out, because she doesn't like driving much, so we did that. We're out, and of course, the mechanic always seems to call you when you're out, never when you're home. And I said to him, we gotta wait, can't hear you where I'm at. Go out into the car, give him a call. He's like, yeah, I can't pass your car for inspection. I said, why? He goes, you need new front brakes, and your rotors are tore up. I said, and you didn't know this when you put new tires on my car about a month or two ago? I said, you put 3 new tires on my car 2 months ago, and you didn't see that I needed front brakes and rotors. Well, they weren't bad then. I said, fine. How much is front brakes and rotors plus my inspection going to cost? Oh, well, that'll be $281.42. I'm like, I said, yeah. Hold us to the first week of December when I get paid. So this past week, I've been without a car. Luckily, I have a wonderful family that my grandma lets me use her car. The mechanic, because I even said to the mechanic, well, can't I just take my car? I'll take my chance on getting a ticket with it not being inspected. He goes, I can't let you do that because the rotors are tore up and you'll do more damage. And me being me, I thought about it, I was like, fine, I'll leave it at your place. I said, is it going to cost me? And he's like, nope. I said, fine, what is that his place? So, long story short, I have to go on a Yarny Goodness Project Bag Goodness diet. So, little bags that I see out in the store that cost like $1 or something fit in my budget. And in case you're wondering, I don't work full time. I only work part time, so that's why it's like budget because you got your life stuff, your home stuff, and my crafty goodness can always go on hold. It's not like I don't got a whole stash of it, Anyways, moving on. This is going to be a long episode, evidently. Other works in progress. I casted on a log cabin blanket, you guys. And when did I cast it on? I casted it on, go back. I casted this on November 10th, the day before I started that commission crochet. I have not touched it since November the 10th. It's one of those things when I want to work on it right now, I'll work on it. And when I don't. It is very potato chip. It is sitting at the TV, listening to TV. I loosely based it off the Lion Brand homespun log cabin Afghan, because I see how they make the one for knitting. I wasn't sure how they did crochet, so I just read the fundamentals of how they started it and went from there. And I just based it off that. I am using a US-H or US-8 5mm crochet hook. I do love it. And if you guys follow me on Instagram, if you don't, you should. You can follow me on Instagram as Nikki, N-I-C-K-I 18229. I did post a picture of the Crochet Dude crochet hook. This is a side note. I highly recommend the Crochet Dude crochet hooks over I think this is Susan Bates. Susan Bates are nice, but the crochet hooks totally rock. They're a lot better than these. I spent $3.95 for a crochet dude hook, and I would spend more because I love it. I am keeping it in a project bag that I made myself. This originally was supposed to be a purse, but I made it too small, so I use it for a project bag. Yes, I have a mustache girls pin on my bag because I love the mustache podcast. I am calling this, if you follow me on Nav on my project page, it is called Magic Cake Log Cabin because I am crocheting it out of my magic cake balls. I have magic cake balls laying around, and I'm like, what am I going to do with them? They're just sitting there. Nicole, make a log cabin blanket out of them. Make a funky, fun log cabin blanket. Great way to use it up, because usually if I don't have enough to make anything out of the yarn, I'll make magic cakes out of them. Figuring, can use it for something fun and funky or just whatever. So, here is what it looks like. Here's the right side. Isn't it cute, you guys? Now, I did kind of cheat a little bit. I started it off here with the green. And this green, I know I used this green in making a hat. And then turn it 90 degrees. And you have black. This black is from making Barry the Cardinal and Selena the cat's eyes, and then turn it 90 degrees again, and this is a pink. I used it at some point to make a baby blanket, or baby something or other. Turn it 90 degrees again, and you guys may recognize this yarn. I used it for another project. I don't remember what. It's probably on my project page. You guys will remember this pattern because I used it to make my sun hat. I think it's called Seahorse or Seashore. I think it's Seahorse. But it is a cute, fun little baby yarn. I absolutely love it. And then turn it 90 degrees again. And you have green. I used this green to make a baby hat for St. Patrick's Day. And you can turn it again 90 degrees. And you see where you're coming into the darker green, which is partly left from a baby hat. Turn it 90 degrees again. And you can see like a cream color yarn. It was in my stash from something. I do have a wonderful yarn fairy. And she gives me all kinds of yarn. I said, I don't care if it's just bits, bobs, and pieces. I'll take it because I can make magic cakes out of them. So then you turn it 90 degrees again. You have a whole white section. Oh, and then you do have this green up here, which is green from something. Turn it 90 degrees. You got white bob. You turn it 90 degrees again. You have red here. And this is red that was left from working on Barry the Cardinal. And you can see then where I dove into brown color. I don't know what this is from. It was just bits and bobs left over from yarn. And I am currently right now on the wrong side of the pattern. So yeah, I am on the brown. And here's my magic cake. Here's how much I have left of it. I do have it all tied together. You can see that once I get down in there, you will see some more bright greens and pinks. I figured this was a great stash buster for magic cake. Once I run out of it, I have another magic cake ball at home. Once I run out of it, I'll just grab whatever skeins of yarn laying around that are just left over. When I make my knit one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit more planning on my knitting one. Like from projects that I have yarn left over from that I know will be enough to go for a few rows or whatever. Or I may just save up and do a magic cake knit one. But I think my knit one, I will definitely have that more color organized. This is just a fun, funky magic cake crochet log cabin. It is loosely based off a pattern. It is my own idea. I just tried how to get it started and went from there. I am doing half double crochet. So that is that. And I'm working on it basically when I want to. Alright, that is all that I have works in progress. I still did not test on the other Halloween sock, but I will because you can have Halloween socks whenever you want. I did get, and if you follow me again on Instagram, I did post a picture of my Mary Maxim Knit Club of the month for November. Let's see if I have it here. Yes, I do. Here is the Knit Club of the month picture. I do not like that cowl. Ross from Smells Like Yarn podcast, him and I were talking. We don't like the cowl, but we love the yarn, and we're going to use the yarn as something else. That is that. A quick blurb on television. If you guys watch How to Get Away with Murder, OMG, you guys, I did not expect that. I surely thought it would have been somebody else that killed Sam. If you have not seen it, sorry you're going to get spoiled, but I don't think Wes killed him. If you watched it, you saw all of them, Sam didn't want to die. Sam took a dive off that banister on accident. They thought he was dead, just got knocked out, came to, started choking Rebecca, and somebody whacked him on the head. And they used the little justice person to kill him with on accident. They did it as obviously self-defense. But they showed the picture, and it shows Wes holding the weapon that killed Sam. However, I don't think Wes was the one that killed him. I think it was somebody else, and he grabbed the weapon out of their hand. Because the entire show is based off of that person actually didn't do it. This is actually what happened. And I think they're teasing us that Wes killed him. Because if you rewatch the episodes, you'll see a lot of clues, in the last part of How to Get Away with Murder, it showed the replay of where Wes went back and he's over the body and he says to Sam, "I'm sorry." Well, all of a sudden you hear Annalise saying, "Don't be." And she's sitting behind her desk looking at the body of her dead adulterer husband. I am strongly wondering if Michaela may have hit him instead of Wes, or if Asher may have hit him instead and Wes grabbed the weapon out of their hand and they're making us think that Wes killed him. January 29th is the return date of How to Get Away with Murder, and I think it's going to be interesting because Annalise knows the truth, and so does Wes. Annalise knows the truth, Wes knows the truth. I can't think of the other girl that slept with Frank. I can't think of her name. Her, Michaela, and Asher, and Rebecca all know the truth, and I don't think any of them are sad that Sam's dead. Sam's dead. Although I do hope it comes out that Sam was Leela's baby daddy. So it's going to be interesting to see how all of season 1 plays out. I'm excited for it. I'm behind on my NCIS New Orleans I'm caught up with. Sleepy Hollow I'm behind on. But yeah, that is that. What else? Do I got anything else I'm working on in here? Yes, I will show you guys quickly before I go because this is long. I started the Ice Sweater by Carol Feller. I started that a few weeks ago, or in the beginning of the month. I have not worked on it since, but here's what it looks like. It is my Hiya Sharps 6 mil or US 10. It's nothing really to see right now. I'm just starting the body and the shaping. It is in Red Heart Super Saver in the turquoise colorway. That is my favorite, one of my favorite colors out of the Red Heart Super Saver is the turquoise, along with Gray Heather. I've never tried the color, but it's so pretty, and there's charcoal. But this is what it looks like. It is definitely going to start to get some love because it is getting really cold here in Pennsylvania. As you can see, I got my sweater on and my Monster, or AA 2014 cowl on. So that is that. The next time you guys see my hitchhiker, it will be done. I also, in case you guys aren't aware of it, before I let you guys go, crinkle, crinkle, I picked up at Barnes & Noble last weekend the unofficial Downton Abbey knit. I am completely in love with it. There is so many things in here I want to knit. I'm not going to go over it with you guys because of time's sake, but I am going to do a review on this for you guys on the next podcast and let you know what I think. Also, before I go, as you guys know, I posted a little something on Instagram asking you guys what you thought. I know not all of you are on Instagram, so I'm going to ask you again. What do you guys think of this cabled pattern? You guys can see it if I'm holding it the right way. What do you guys think of that cable pattern? This is just a swatch. It's nothing I'm actually working on. But there's the cable pattern. And then, what do you guys think of this cable pattern? I did, if you follow me on Instagram, I actually had the swatch folded back and I had these side by side and asked which one you guys like better. And the conclusion was you guys thought that this would be better. You guys like this one better. And I asked a friend of mine and he said he liked this one better. He felt this one would look nice in a sweater pattern. I thought I'd ask you guys what you thought, because I have a design floating around in my head. That's all I'm going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you what it is. It's just a design idea. That's why I asked you which cable you guys like best. And you chose this one. And I kind of like, for what I want to use it for, like this one versus this one. If I would ever get the bug to make a sweater, I would make that. And I also posted a while back this little swatch. I thought it was cute. It is slanted. Yes, you are seeing right. It is slanted. And that's for another idea I have in my head. This is a really long podcast because I wanted to catch up with you guys, and it was also a little rambling. I hope you had a wonderful, great Thanksgiving. I know that I did. I didn't do much. Just ate dinner with my dad and my nana. And I'm doing a work thing. Yeah, this podcast is early. No, it's not. Oh my goodness. I just jumped ahead a few days. I will see you guys, because it is Friday. I will see you guys next week again with a Downton Abbey review, some TV talk, and who knows what else. So until then, treat others the way you would want to be treated, because karma does come back around, you guys. Bye.